Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Podhead Picker on Instagram. Another week reselling. I don't know, I just fucking space real quick. I do that a lot. Anyway, another week of reselling. So there was, I was going to go to some sales today, but they were both kind of a hike. It was about 35 minutes to one sale, and then the GPS said 40 minutes to the other sale, but I would have had to go to Cape Cod, which is like the traffic, especially on the weekend when it's supposed to be nice, it's crazy. So I avoid that if I can, you know what I mean? There's not really ever sales that are like so good that I can't not go. Like if I was going to go, I would like do it when I was on vacation. Like we've done that before. We've stayed there and I've gone out and looked for stuff and got great stuff. But driving over there, it's not worth the headache. So that was out of the picture. And then there was another sale. So I had told my wife to be prepared to get up with the kids. And I woke up at like just before 7, which is like sleeping in for me. And decided I'm not going to the sales. I would have had to already have left the house. So I didn't set the alarm last night. One sale had records. And there's a Blizzard of Oz on top, which it's not like crazy valuable unless it's like, you know, whatever. But the condition didn't look great. Like the condition on any of them didn't look great. And then the ad said, you know, they had updated it, which when people do this, it drives me fucking bonkers. But they'll update a post, right? They'll post that they're having a sale in multiple places. And then they'll update a detail about it. Like this guy updated it and said that he either had like a medical emergency, some shit, I don't remember, but that he was going to be able to open the house today, but not the barn. And I think most of the stuff that I was interested in was in the barn. So that was like, that sale's out. So both sales, it was like, all right, for either reason or not. So I just stayed home. But then I was on... I've been doing a bunch of shit today already. I took the kid to school, came back, got a workout in, did an hour workout today. Still on my DDPY shit. Diamond Dallas Page yoga, which, again, it's cheesy, but fuck, man, that shit works. No offense if you don't think it's cheesy, but it's a little cheesy. But again, it works. So did that. And then... right after that, was it right after or right before? Might have been right before. Yeah, it was right before that. It was right after I got home from bringing my kid to school. That's right. Somebody had posted on one of the free groups earlier in the day about Xbox games. And I was like second person to comment on it. And so the first person must have... what my guess is, because I've posted free shit before... And, like, usually people will be like, I'm interested. They'll do it right away. They, like, stock the fucking free pages. And if it's something they want, they'll get it and then take it. Sometimes they just say interested just to say it. And then sometimes they'll be like, they'll hit you with, like, a crazy request. They'll be like, hey, can you fucking deliver this to my brother who's this, that, and the other because I'm disabled? And, like, no. Or they'll be like, hey, I can't get it till, like, next week. And it's like, all right. You know what I mean? So I always tell people when I'm trying to get free shit, I'm like, I can come fucking now, or like, you know, whenever I can come. But so yeah, they had Xbox One games. There was like 18 of them, all in good condition. One of the boxes was broken, but other than that, they're all, and it was like a sports game, I think, but they're all in good condition. So I have an Xbox One that I just picked up that I don't have any of the cords that I have to test it. So I don't know. I was thinking about going to GameStop, but I don't need any other systems. Like I would hang on to the Xbox One to keep it to test shit if it works. But it's just like, I have so many systems right now. And I know I need it for testing, but I finally got a TV. I think I already talked about that. I needed a little TV. Something that I could play the retro games on. I've got about 12 of the Zapper guns. And that shit doesn't work on the new TVs. So you got to use like the old school fucking retro TVs. So yeah, but picked those up. It was only like 13 minutes from the house. All decent titles, so I should be able to get, maybe 60, $70, maybe more. I don't know. I don't really know what the market is on Xbox One games. I have 2 that I picked up the other day for like, I think $4 for the pair. So I can add that to this and see. But I also have that Xbox. So I put out a free, like, in search of on one of the free pages to see if anybody had an extra one. But I might just go to GameStop. They might have one. I don't know. They'll probably charge out the ass. Who knows? I can get like a third-party one. But now I'm just fucking rambling about this stupid fucking Xbox. So yeah, so I did get some shit today. I stayed home and it ended up being worth it because I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to spend any money, and I got some stuff to sell. So that was perfect. And then came back, and then I did the workout when I got back. So I still haven't showered. I probably smell like shit, but but I don't smell like shit. And I don't really. Well, I'm not going to talk about the way I smell. It's fucking weird. Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow, yard sales. It really hasn't been. I thought there would be a ton, and so far, like, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, and so far, there's not too many sales. I'm going to be driving around because there is enough. But I'll have my kid with me tomorrow. So I don't know how she's going to be. We'll see. She's been better today. I think she went. So kids go through like leaps sometimes where they're like they go through like a few days where they're just moody, cranky and shit. And then they've got teeth coming in. And then all of a sudden they're like just a different, like, not a different baby, but like slightly different. You know what I mean? Like more, their brain is a little bit more cohesive as far as like the things that she was trying, like her communication's better. You know what I mean? That was like one of the big things that she would be frustrated about would be like communication. She would get really frustrated because she would be trying to say some shit. And now she's like starting to string words together. So it's crazy to watch little brains develop, you know what I mean? And so that's just, yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully there's some neighborhood sales that I can just get out and put her in. Like, I might bring the wagon tomorrow and just bring her in that, and then put the thing to, strap her on me, whatever the fuck. I forget what it's called, what the technical term is. So there's supposed to be I don't know anything about, maybe 1 or 2 Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully today there's a bunch more, but we'll see. And then I'm supposed to do an estate sale for my wife's family. That's coming up, I think, June 29th. So I will put that up for anybody who is interested, who's actually listening in that area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so selling a bunch of stuff, like pretty much most of the stuff in the house. So we'll see. I got to go up and see what's what and check it out. So yeah, that should be interesting. And then, so that's on the horizon. So that'll be my second estate sale. So the first one was pretty good, but we didn't like clean the house out entirely. The first one, I just basically did it to help my godmother make some money. And yeah. So then what else? I'm trying to think. So talk about like last Saturday. How did last Saturday go? I'm trying to think of what I got up. Did I get up early? I went to, why is this like I'm drawing a blank? What fucking day? Because I went out shortly. Not shortly, but like went out quickly. Oh yeah, that's right. This dude I have met at yard sales had a sale. So he had a sale, but that was like almost 40 minutes away. So I just went to say what's up to him because he's always nice to me. And I knew he'd have some stuff that I was interested in. So I got a bunch of comics and like a Marvel Comics Monopoly game. So I'll make a little bit of the money back on the comics, but the comics will be a slow burn. I'll have to do that one. My plan on the comics is to do like Whatnot eventually. I think hopefully soon. I've been wanting to get it started, maybe like 1 or 2 shows a month. Because I've got a bunch of stuff that just would be perfect for Whatnot. I've got like a ton of action figure accessories. I've got all types of comic books, like cheaper comic books and stuff too. Hold on, I'm just putting some shit down here. Sorry, when you don't have a producer, you have to do this shit by yourself. So yeah, like I've got comic books. I'm trying to think what else I've got. I've got comic books. I've got action figures. I've got like action figure accessories. I've got cards. That's a big one. I want to do like just cheap cards. You know what I mean? Like, and just move as much as I can. And do that, and just do 2 shows a month, and then I can start buying more and selling more, this, that, and the other. So yeah. And then on Sunday, I didn't do shit on Sunday, I don't think. I did. I went to, so yeah, I went to that sale and got the comic books. So it was like some Uncanny X-Men and some, the fuck was it? It was Uncanny X-Men and Avengers. And I mean, he knows his shit, so it's like I didn't expect there to be any keys or anything like that, and he gave me a good deal on it. So it was like under $1 a piece. And they were all in great shape, and it's bagged and boarded, so I don't have to pay anything. You know what I mean? They were like ready to go, except for like, you know, some of the duplicates. And so, yeah, I got that. And then where did I go after that? I got a couple things. I can't even really remember. Oh, I found like yard sale was like in a trailer park kind of. They're like mobile homes, but they were like the ones that were situated there. And so that one was pretty cool, but it was very narrow. I didn't find a ton of shit there, but like I got some Harley Davidson mugs. I got some shoes. I got some like hip hop t-shirts, but that was at a different sale. I'm just saying that shit out loud because I'll forget. But it was cool. It was like, you know, everybody was out. They didn't have a ton of stuff because once you downsize to, you know, it was like a 55 and older, like mobile home kind of trailer park type thing. So it's like once you downsize to that place, the shit that you have, most of it you're hanging on to, except for some of the bullshit. So, you know, but some of the people had some decent things. But yeah, it was all right. I didn't find a ton of bangers. And then Sunday we were in Connecticut, and that's where my wife's family's from. So went to a couple sales there, and yeah, that was not bad. I went to one that was like, oh yeah, that's right. I went to one. It was like 40 minutes away. It was starting at 9. So I got there like 7:15 because they had a picture of a Barbie, like, and I'd looked it up, and it said it would sell for like between 1,000 to 1,400. That was like a rough estimate based on like comps and yeah, and just like condition and shit. And so like in the picture you could see prices on stuff, and a lot of the stuff was priced like $1, $2. Some of the more expensive stuff was like furniture. So I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be priced like, you know, $100, $200. So I brought $200 to the sale, and I got there right just as they were getting there. And so I just was like, I always ask them like, hey, is it all right if I park here? You know what I mean? So that way I'm not asking to go into the sale. If they're going to let me in, they'll let me in. But so I'm like, hi, is it all right if I park here? Like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm going to wait. I'll wait over here. I'm interested in whatever. So I said I was interested in the Barbie. And so I waited there. So I go in and I go and ask her about it. And she's like, if she tells me it's 7. So I go, how much for the Barbie? And she goes 7. And I go, oh, and she goes 100. I'm like, oh, so I got her down to like 500 or 400. That was like my high offer was 400, and she wouldn't go down under 5, which I get, you know what I mean. But there wasn't any actual comps, you know what I mean. There's comps on shit similar, and like, so it was just kind of a gamble. There was ones listed, so it was like I could have massively overpaid at 500. And at that point, if you're selling it, if I sell it for 1,000, essentially I'm making less than the lady who I bought it from, which I feel like that's not the way it's supposed to work. But I mean, I guess if you're both making even, but you know what I mean. You're doing more of the legwork, like you're putting it online and shit, and running the risk of having to deal with bullshit, and they're just basically handing you a thing that they don't have to deal with, and they'll never see you again. And yeah, so I don't know. I had to pass at 500, but I did walk away with 2 Everybody Loves Raymond DVD box sets sealed, which aren't worth what you think they are. The show was funny though back in the day. Makes me giggle. So yeah, anyway, it's been a couple weeks since I've podcasted. Right now I've got a few things. I've been actually like listing a decent amount. Trying to get as much listed as I can. Because yeah, I just need to be making more money right now. Fucking the dollar doesn't go as far as it used to. And so now I'm just kind of going through. I'm trying to just go through as many totes and boxes and shit as I have. And there's a few people locally, so like I might just start selling shit locally to different people, because I think a few people do like flea markets and shit. But I don't know. I might start doing the flea market. I don't know if it's worth it, but it feels like, I don't know. There's one on Wednesdays. Like I might be able to do that one on Wednesdays. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. They open at 6 a.m. But, I mean, that's not a problem. If I get up earlier than that for yard sales. But I also don't have, like, a trailer. I could fill up a car. You know what I mean? I just don't necessarily need a trailer. Just fill up a car and take it. But, I don't know. Then it feels like I don't know. Then I have to do a job or something like that. But I don't even know what the going rate would be for like cheap shit online. I don't even know what that means. I got a slight headache that just came on like a little while ago. It's like fucking starting. I think it's just because I haven't drank enough water. I did like a workout. I drank a little bit during the workout. Sorry, I'm going to drink another little. But I drank a little bit. Sorry. Drank a little bit during the workout, and then yeah. A lot of times if I get a headache, I just drink water and it goes away. I don't know how people get by without drinking water. You know what's crazy is like people talk about how like, oh, they're fucking, like I know there's some places where the water is just not drinkable, and I get that and shit, but like a lot of people that you talk to in certain areas, they'll be like, I don't even drink water. You know what I mean? Like there's people like grown adults that I've known that are like, yeah, I have to force myself to drink water. And that's such a weird concept to me. Like they'll just drink. There's this one guy I knew that he drank Dr. Pepper all the time. Like all the time. And you have to force yourself to drink water, but you drink that shit all the time. I mean, you get accustomed to it. I haven't drank soda. I mean, I don't drink soda at all, really. Occasionally, like, and I mean very occasionally, if I'm at a party or I'm somewhere, maybe they don't have alcohol. if they don't have alcohol, then it's fair game. But I'll drink like, there's certain soda, like wild cherry Pepsi. If I go somewhere and they've got wild cherry Pepsi, there's a chance I'm going to drink it. I used to drink Mountain Dew if I saw it, but now I'm like, I don't think it's worth it. You know what I mean? Mountain Dew just seems very sketch. Orange soda. And I'm not necessarily like an orange car. I like the local brands of soda. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit I like. Obviously, I don't have that shit at parties and stuff. But like, occasionally, if we're out, we're on vacation or some shit, I'll get like, you know, a soda. I do like Lime Ricky, which is essentially soda. I don't know what else it is, but it's like, I think it's a New England thing. And it's fucking bomb at the summer. Of course, you get it with it. They're at ice cream places. You know what I mean? You get a Lime Ricky at an ice cream place. And you probably should do either or. But it's just so fucking good. It goes so good with some ice cream. It's just like a raspberry, like, soda drink, like raspberry lime soda. And yeah, it's just fucking bomb. I don't know what they put in it. I'd have to look it up. Here, let me look it up right now. I'm not sure what they put in it. It's fucking so good. But like, yeah, I'll do that. That's like a kind of like treat yourself type thing. But yeah, I just have never. I used to be into soda, like not like big into soda, but kind of. My buddy would have like his house. They'd always have soda, so anytime I went over there, I would have it. We didn't typically have a ton of soda. Like my mom would buy the soda that she liked, and she would buy like Diet Coke. I remember the Diet Coke, the decaffeinated Diet Coke. I remember that at the house for a while. It was like a gold can. So like I wasn't drinking that shit. You know what I mean? But when I would go to his house, they had all types of soda. Like, it was just like, you could have whatever you want. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I would just grab that shit. But like, I remember going to, because my mom used to work for like it was like I don't know if I should say what she did, but she worked with like veterans and shit. And so I would have to go like on different excursions and shit with her. And so I remember one time she was busy, like, you know, doing whatever she had to do, and I was older. Like, I was probably like, I don't know, 11, 12 maybe. I don't remember. But I remember they had this soda machine, and I can't remember if it was like, because it was at like a club or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, and I can't remember if it was free, like the sodas were free, and the guy told me like, oh, have as many as you wanted, and I like took him up on it. And I remember there's 2 instances that like I overdid it on soda as a youngster that like made me really be like weary of soda. I stopped drinking soda for a long time. I stopped drinking it early too. It was just like when I first started to try to lose weight, I think I stopped drinking soda. And then when I would work in restaurant, I would drink soda. I would just, you know, I would drink it like fucking I would drink it like, you know, just hold on, sorry. I would drink it when I would be behind the bar, because you have the soda gun and shit, and that's probably like the worst soda. Those fucking tubes are fucking gross, and they get clean, but not very well unless you're like super fucking bartender of the year. But most of the time, bartenders, they ask you to clean the shit, like, which is wild to me. If you're a bartender, that they ask you to clean like yeah, I get spot cleaning and shit, but like there would be days where you have to deep clean the bar, and it's like, why the fuck are we doing this? I'm not like, I'm a bartender, not a fucking cleaning person. You know what I mean? And that sounds kind of elitist, but it's not the job you signed up for, to deep clean a fucking bar. Like, you know what I mean? There was one that it would be like at least fair. They'd have because there would like be certain places where they'd do it on a shift, and so like you'd have to stay after your shift to fucking clean. like deep clean the fucking restaurant or whatever once a month or 2 times a month, whatever. And but there was one place I worked that they would like they would have a set day where they would have everybody come in. So that was like not bad, but it just yeah. Now that I'm like away from it, looking back, being like, the fuck was that? The hell just happened? Hold on a second. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yeah, I think the GoPro just got like way too fucking hot and shut down. I don't know if it's working anymore. Fuck. That's crazy. I've never had that happen before. It's been working fine. Even though, I haven't really recorded much as far as like the video goes, but sorry. But yeah, that shit just like tripped out. It just like beeped aggressively and then shut the fuck down. So cool. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Never had that happen before with this thing. So we'll see. Sorry, I'm just adjusting myself. Well, that sucks. So much for video. Hopefully it fixes itself. It just cools off. So I'm going to leave it for a minute and just let it do its thing. But anyway, I've got the recipe for Lime Ricky. So, oh my God. I don't know if you ever cook at home or make anything at home, but like the fucking recipe websites, it's just, they've got a giant blog about their fucking life and what the recipe means to them and this, that, and a scroll past that, and then they've got ad on top of ad on top of ad on top of ad. And it's like, I know why they do it. There's a structure, I'm pretty sure, with like the way you get paid for things. So like they make you scroll all the way to the bottom. And it's so stupid. I fucking hate it. Okay, so anyway, raspberry lime Ricky. So for the syrup, it's 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup water, 2 cups fresh or frozen strawberries. So I'm assuming like that's all blended maybe. And then for the raspberry lime Rickies, 1 cup raspberry syrup. So that's after you make the syrup. 3/4 cup of lime juice, 48 ounces club soda or unflavored seltzer, and lime wedges. Oh man, it's so good. So it's essentially like raspberry lime soda. Yeah, just like I said. So you just make like a syrup and then it becomes like its own soda. Oh shit, the fucking GoPro's turning on. I don't know if I want it to. I'll unplug it because I want it to cool off. But the light's back on, so that's a good sign. But man, I was hoping to have video, but I can do half. I've got to fucking do it. That's what I was going to do today after, but the day just gets away. And then my wife always makes plans. So she made plans with the neighbors, which is fine. You know what I mean? I don't mind. But I'm always like, oh, I'm going to have this much time. And then I always forget that, like, oh, yeah. So that's why I've been working out earlier in the day, too. Because, like, it's summertime. My wife, anytime she's home, she wants to do some shit later in the day, which is fine. Again, I'm not complaining. I just am like, I'm getting my shit done earlier. It's actually helped with listing and shit, too, because then I have time to list in the afternoon most of the time. So, like, I should at least have a little bit of time because my daughter fell asleep later. My wife's going to go pick up my child at school. And then, yeah, get some listing done. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know how I went from soda to, like, that was a journey. I was on a roll and then this fucking camera thing. I don't know what just happened. Here, I better take this out. I don't know why. So, yeah, I'm finally, like, not sick. I don't know if last week I was not sick. But, yeah. Summer's coming up. I mean, it's pretty much summer starting now. We're going on vacation in about a week, so I always do a bunch of thrifting, yard sales on this vacation. We do this vacation every year, so I'm excited for that. And then, yeah, that should be interesting. So we'll see. That's where I had one of my best finds. I've already said this, but I'm not going to say it again. So that's coming up soon. Excited for it. And then, yeah, I might as well just dip into my list of stuff because I've been so busy the last few days. And I'm not saying this as like a fucking like, oh, guys, I'm so busy. It's just been like, I've been trying to get shit done. And not like I'm so busy in like a bad way. It's just like I've been trying to get shit done, try to move shit. And then, you know, I've got shit, wife shit, kids shit, family shit, dad shit. Like there's so much different shit that you have to do when you're like the head of a household. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing like all the extra shit. Not the extra shit, but like, you know what I mean? I do the mommy stuff because I'm fucking the stay-at-home dad. Not the mommy stuff, but you know what I mean? And then on top of like the dad shit that I do, you know what I mean? Mow the lawn, fucking all that bullshit. So it's just, there's a lot of shit. So like throughout the day, I've got to like, you know, block, you know, certain days I'll be like, all right, I'm going to do this at this time. You know what I mean? Like yesterday I did or 2 days ago, I did the lawn. You know, I have to mow the lawn. So then I got to do this, got to do that, you know? And it's just a lot. They don't tell you that shit when you're younger. They're like once you you get older and you're having to run shit in the house. Like now you understand why so many dads fucking were like dipped out. Just like, yeah, no, this shit's bullshit. So there's certain days where I'm like, I'm going to the weed shop. And I'm like, am I just going to go to the weed shop? I could just the fucking egg. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's my going to get cigarettes. It's like, I'm going to get weed. But like, no, I definitely would never do that. But it's just funny that yeah, a lot of shit that they don't tell you. So get good at prioritizing. All right, let me dip into this shit. Let's see what I have. Okay. Oh yeah. So, we had Jay on, my friend Jameson, a few, I don't know, months ago. He was talking about his CDs. So I sold his CDs. I think I talked about this situation. Sold his CDs to a buyer. Buyer gets them and claims that 26 out of the 92 CDs that I sent them were obliterated to the point that they couldn't use them. That was their words. And that 2 of the CDs were DVD only. Like they're very specific. Anytime they send a long thing for like claiming something, I'm always skeptical. And so they're like, you know, basically they were like, I don't want to have to return this because it's a big thing, which is like, yeah, it is. But like, I know there's no way 26 of those CDs were obliterated. Like this was from a friend's personal collection, and it was a friend that took care of his shit. So it's like, I know, and I looked at every single CD. Like I always look at every single CD. I'm like, there's no way 26 of these CDs were obliterated. So I'm like, you can return them. Like that's what I tell everybody. You can return them. You got to return it. Like I accept returns. I have no problem doing a return. So they send me another message again, trying to get me to send them a partial refund. And I'm like, no, just return it. You know, I'm polite, like return it and I'll refund you your money. So then I don't hear anything from them. Oh no. So then they reply again, insinuating that they want a partial refund. And so I'm just like, all right, I've already told them 3 times at this point. Like I've told you that you can return it for a refund. So I'm not going to reply again. So then they leave a negative feedback being like, oh, seller didn't care. Oh, item arrived not as described, seller didn't care. So reach out to eBay. Of course, they're not going to remove it. They don't remove shit. Send a feedback revision knowing they're not going to do it. So then I'm like, all right, I'd already sent them like 2 messages like, hey, sorry, negative feedback. Like, again, I told you could return the stuff. I'm not telling you have to keep this stuff if you're unhappy. And so finally I was like, all right, I'll just respond to it. You know what I mean? I moved on. But it's like, I can't spend that much time on that shit. It's crazy that that's the way their system is. Like, first somebody like tries to leave, return something. Like, they left negative. That person that left that did the smudges, they left the negative, which was fucking crazy that they were allowed to leave a negative. Like, oh wait, not that one. I'm not talking about that one. Which one was it? Which was the one I was talking about? It was, I don't know. I completely can't remember. I just got like 3 different situations. This happens so much that I'm like mixing all the shit up. That's how often it happens. It's like every fucking week. And I just had another one this week, another return. And this one is for, it says ordered by mistake is the main reason. And then in the comments, they put, hi, I received 2 of these and I only needed 1. So they ordered 2 from me and somebody else. And they're like, I'm going to return it because I fucked up. It's like, are you kidding? Like, I get that they have every right to return it because it's under the return policy, but like, the likelihood of it being a scam too. It's like with its video games and it's a Switch game. Like, I don't know how hard it is to swap those games out with one that doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to test it. Hopefully it works. But man, it's just every single week. Hopefully it doesn't even, like, sometimes they go through, you know what I mean? Sometimes I get a return request and then nothing even comes from it. And then like, and you wonder about shit like that because like there are people that order on eBay because you see both sides of eBay. Like, you sell on eBay, but then you can see the result of like people buying on eBay. You know what I mean? There's like that in hoarder houses. I'm sure like there's certain hoarder houses that we've all been in, if you've ever been reselling long enough, that like, they're like, oh, this person just, all they did was online shop. You know what I mean? And it's like everything's brand new in the package. Those are the best hoarder houses. Like, they're not that gross. Not that gross. Every hoarder house is going to be gross. You can't have that much stuff and, you know what I mean, live there for years without shit getting a little bit gross. And so, yeah, it's it's easy to see how it happens. That's all I'm going to say. So, all right, let me see what else I got here. It's been like a slow few days just because I've been trying to. So yeah, so I guess no good deed goes unpunished. You know what I mean? Like, I try to help my buddy out, but he was like, I'm not going to charge you anything. I'll still give him some money once I see him, or buy, you know what I mean? Buy him a beer or something. I don't know. But yeah, those CDs just didn't go as quick as he thought they would, or as I thought they would. And they sold for a lot less. And then of course there was a headache. But then I sold another lot of CDs like right after that. I had no issues. Person left a positive review. So, I think people just don't even give a shit about the negatives as much. Like, obviously if you're like 93%, but I'm like 99.7% positive. So I'm not, it takes too much time to like call eBay and bitch at them, and they give you the same response every time. They'll tell you the same shit every time. And you're like, hey, escalate me to a manager. The manager tells you the same shit. Doesn't even acknowledge the fact that he's telling you the same shit. He doesn't even go, as my colleague said, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? They say the same shit that the fucking last person did. AI, I swear to God, once eBay starts using AI, it's going to be a wrap. They're just going to like, they're not going to do shit for you. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be an AI fucking voice from, like, sounding like it's a dude in India. They're still going to use the same voices, and they're just going to be like just as fucking useless. Like, sorry, we don't remove feedback. It's like, all right, fucking cool, Sorry, I couldn't just think of the word remove. I almost said receive feedback. So I was trying to do a bad Indian accent while trying to, forgetting what the word I was trying to say was. So, anyway, yeah, that's it's always fun when you get negative feedback, especially for like shit that's not even yours. I mean, I still, whatever, but it is what it is. It's all done now. I don't have to fucking worry about it. And I can move on and sell more shit. So, win-win. I did find I found I was at a sale recently. They in the ad it said that they had Legos, but they only put the ad in the newspaper, and a lot of people don't check the newspaper. So I went to this sale, and it was in this lady's garage. It was raining. It was the weekend. It was pretty rainy. And I asked her right off the bat, like, hey, do you still have the Legos? She's like, no. And it was just me and this guy that I know. He had actually texted me to tell me that they were having the sale there, so I went over there. And so I was, right as I was walking out, I didn't think I found anything because everything was just everywhere, you know what I mean? Some of it was for sale, some of it wasn't. So as I was walking out, there was this Back to the Future. It's like from Universal Studios, the ride. And it was just chilling there. It was like, it was nothing I've ever seen before, and I could tell it was old. Like, I could tell it was from the 80s. And so I grabbed it. It was like, she wanted 50 cents for it. So I paid 50 cents for that, and I got a game for 50 cents. I got Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition for PlayStation. So that's like a $20, $25 game, depending on condition. And so I paid $1 for the pair. And when I got it home, I looked it up because I didn't know shit. I was like, I'll just grab it. But I know Back to the Future stuff sells. I'd never seen anything like it. And I couldn't find another. I tried Google Lens. I tried looking it up. I tried every different keyword I could think of. And I couldn't find anything about it. I tried looking it up on Google, looking it up different places, and I couldn't find it. And so I put it listed at $2.99. And so I've already got a few watchers. So I just dropped it down to $2.74. I usually do reverse auctions for certain stuff like that. You know what I mean? 300 is probably obviously too much, but if that sells for 200 off 50 cents, I'll be happy. So I'm hoping it'll sell for right around 200 because it's got to be pretty rare. I couldn't find it anywhere. Google imaged a couple different times, could not find it. So it looks really old, and it's cool as fuck. It's got the little handle mug, almost like the tiki style mug. You know what I mean? Just not with the tiki face. And then really cool retro coloring and letters. And then on the top, it's like a half of the DeLorean sticking out of the cup. So it's pretty cool. It's fucking definitely 80s. So I'm hoping that sells for some good money. I'm assuming it'll sell this weekend. That's typically when I sell shit like that over the weekend. People are drinking or whatever, and they're get fucked up and they want to spend some money. But that shit was cool, and for 50 cents. You know what I mean? I don't see it selling for less than 100. I found a similar one from the ride. It was just a regular fucking plastic cup, just generic. You probably find millions of them, not millions, but tons of them. What, you know what the fuck I mean? You probably find a bunch of them at sales. Not that one, but you know what I mean? That style, just plastic fucking bullshit. So I'm all right, that sold for $50. So I'm all right, well, this thing's got to be worth more than 50. So I don't know. I expect it to go for at least 200, just because Back to the Future is so beloved, and I literally couldn't find another one. There was not another one to be found. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe somebody's better at Googling or fucking searching. They use something that's Google fucking probably sucks. And I'm sure it's just sitting there taking all my fucking data and bullshit. And but that's pretty much what we got. I tried the other ones, and I don't know. I don't have time to fucking teach myself all the fucking technical ways of maneuvering the internet. You know what I mean? I'm not that fucking savvy. I can barely fucking do a podcast. So, it is what it is. Anyway, moving on. Let's fucking see what else I put down. This was another pickup that I got. So I bought a bunch of Rolling Stone magazine from the 90s. I think they were all from the 90s. So some cool covers in there. And this was like one of those instances, like normally when you find stuff like that, the best ones, like the most valuable ones, are in the worst condition. But this time it was like the most valuable ones were in the best condition, which was nice. And it wasn't, they just all had them thrown together. Like they were asking 50 cents a piece. This was one of the things I bought when I was out with my wife's family, or staying at my wife's family's. And so I asked how much for the bot, like all of it. And she said $5. It's like $5 for sure. So I've got a couple covers. There's like a Friends cover that sells for like $30-$40. There was a Seinfeld one that sells for like $20-$30. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I got 2 Nirvana covers, so I can bundle those. And then there's a bunch that I just bundled, like that were in like shit condition or whatever. And so we'll see if somebody buys those. I've never sold Rolling Stones. I don't know if they're fast moving, but I was like, fuck it, $5. You know what I mean? I can at least put it on Marketplace. Somebody will pick it up. So we'll see. I took pictures of all of them and got them. So I just got to get them listed and shit. I'll probably do that a little bit. And I honestly don't know how many minutes I need to do to make it an hour. I think I was at like 25 or something like that when the shit hit the fan on the last one. But I honestly don't know. So we'll see. We'll just keep it going. I've got like a few minutes left. Yeah. My wife's probably going to be coming in here in a minute. Hopefully my kid fell asleep. She was up doing like fucking bullshit. Okay, so here's another one. This was just like a random, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think about random shit. So I was just like, I came to the realization the other day that I don't know if it's all boomers, but at least like my mom and like some of the boomers that I grew up with, that like they would, how do I say this? So like like my mom would not like certain people because of characters they played. You know what I mean? Like I think she would think that they were their characters. Like there were certain actors or whatever that would play like I remember David Spade was one that my mom didn't like, and she would like the way she would describe him would be like, oh well you're describing like his character, but I didn't know that at the time. You know what I mean? I just kind of took her word for it. But now as I'm growing up and she still does it, where she's just like, I don't like this person, or she like, if it's somebody that like, you know, the news tells her that she's not supposed to like, she's like, I don't like that person. It's like, why? I don't know. You know what I mean? She doesn't have a reason. But I recently came to the realization that like it's because they think that the characters are the real people. Like I remember another person of a similar age, like that age group, back in the day. This was back in the day, like, and she was talking about, I think is the bitch from 90210 Brenda, Shannon Doherty? Does she play Brenda? I don't know. Shannon Doherty's character. I never watched the show, but I remember this from back in the day. And she said she didn't like Shannon Doherty, not the character, the actress. She was like, I don't like Shannon Doherty. She's a bitch. And I remember hearing that, you know what I mean? And like thinking that she was a bitch. And then as an adult, I'm like, she only thought that because like she played that character, you know what I mean? Like she might have been, I have no idea if she was a bitch in real life or not. Maybe she was. Again, I didn't watch the show. Maybe she was just that convincing. But I just remember that. And like I remember my mom doing it several times, just like different people. And she'd be like, I don't like that person. And she's describing why she doesn't like them. And you're like, that's the character they play. Like that's not a real person. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if it's just that generation thing. Like they just grew up with these people where like, they're like, oh no, the moving pictures are fucking, they're real life. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. But it's crazy to think about. Like, am I going to get to that point where I'm just like, I don't like this person? Like, why not? Like, oh, because of the character he plays on a fucking TV show. You know what I mean? Like, there's characters on certain shows that are just supposed to be annoying or shitty. And I never mind them. You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't mind them. It's just that, like, it's like they're doing a good job. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to hate the character, but you're also supposed to separate the character from the person. Like, it's fucking weird that, like, I've never gotten like a bit, what's the word? Excited over celebrities. You know what I mean? If I see a celebrity in the street or some shit, I never really get excited. I'm never like, oh, can I take a picture? You know what I mean? I usually just say what's up. I never ask for a picture. I don't need a fucking picture. Occasionally. Like, I asked the rapper Slane. I don't know if you know who Slane is, but he's a Boston rapper. And I met him at a Boston Bruins LA Kings game. So obviously he's rooting for the Bruins. I had a Bruins jersey on, I think, or sweatshirt or something. I can't remember. And so then I ended up taking a picture with him. You know, because I was like, oh, you Slane, blah, blah, blah. He's in the movie The Town, so, like, he's easily recognizable. But if you're from Boston, you know who he is, but other than that, you wouldn't. So that was like, I was out smoking a cigarette back in my cigarette smoking days, and that's when I met him. But I didn't, like, you know, I wasn't, like, geeking out, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, shit, it's Slane. You know what I mean? He was cool as fuck, you know? And he was, the dude I was with, he was wearing a Kings jersey because he was from L.A., and I remember he asked for a picture too. He had no idea who the dude was. He just, because I got a picture with him. That's that fucking, like, you know, LA thing. You know what I mean? And so the dude, like, clearly knew he didn't know who he was. So when they took the picture, the guy flipped him off. Slane flipped off my buddy. Like, so in the picture, he didn't see it till after. So the picture, he's like, looks at it. He's like fucking flipping him off, and it was fucking hysterical. So yeah. So, like, I never got, you know, I've never gotten like, oh my God, there's a celebrity. I saw Kevin Nealon once. That was pretty cool. He was walking. I forget where it was. I think they were filming something for Weeds or something. And it was when Weeds was on. It was in LA. I was like, oh shit, it's Kevin Nealon, blah, 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 blah. And so that was pretty cool. But, like, yeah, Stained, when I was younger, I was like, you know, I met Stained. But then I remember, like, meeting him. I was like, well, now what? You know what I mean? I got a picture with him. It's like, what do we do now? We're going to become best friends? You know what I mean? He's just fucking... he's not going to take me on the road with him. You know what I mean? I'm not a fucking hot chick. So, like, it's just fucking silly to just be like, oh, I'm going to meet this celebrity. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Some people get, you know, hyped on celebrities, but I just have never been like that. You know what I mean? And so that, I think maybe that helps maybe separate them from their characters and shit. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not fucking built that way. Who knows? All right, let's see. I think I got one more thing here, and I think I could probably start wrapping it up anyway. I think I have, 25 minutes? So that would mean, like, I need to do 35 minutes, right? Yeah. So that's, like, 7 more minutes. I think I could do that. So this was something I overheard, and I think it's pretty funny. So my daughter's been doing soccer, and, like, the whole thing's kind of sketch. Like, I think it was like $100, so it's like whatever, you know what I mean? She gets out there every week and goes and runs around, and so she's, like, learning how to play a sport, which is very nice. But, like, there's always different coaches. It's not really super structured, you know what I mean? There's structure. There's some coaches are better than others, but they just literally every week it's a different. Like, there's 1 or 2 people that are the same, and then the rest are different coaches. Some of them don't speak English. Like, it's fucking weird, a little bit weird. And but anyway, you know what I mean? It's fun to, like, go there. So I'm sitting there, and, like, I can't. My wife was running late this last one. She had to work and she didn't get out in time, so she met us there. So I had my daughter, and she was in the stroller. So because otherwise she's just, like, a lot to handle. So I'm like, I wanted to be able to. My other kid always looks back to the sideline, so I didn't want her to be, like, looking for somebody to be, like, you know, reassuring or whatever. And then fucking she looks over and I'm gone. So I wanted to stay there, so I left the other kid in the stroller because she's gonna take off as soon as I get her out. And so I'm just sitting there, and, like, I overhear this guy. So they take a water break, right? This is like 20. I clocked it because I was like, this is fucking wild. So it was 25 minutes in. It was either right before or right after my wife got there. I can't remember. So sorry if the details aren't all correct. And they do a water break, and there's a kid and this dude, and the dad's like, just out of nowhere, like he goes, he says to his kid, he goes, I had $100 bill missing from my dresser. You know anything about it? During the water, this is 25 minutes into soccer, like into practice. They do a water break. I'm like, there's no way you just remembered, like, yo, $100 got taken. I think my kid did it. Like, that was strategic. Like, he lulled his kid into the falsest sense of security. Like, made his kid think like he got away with some shit. Like, he's at soccer. This kid's in his shin guards. Like, I just gave my kid water. They're in the same, like, this kid was a little bit older than my daughter. You know what I mean? She's like not to that level where it's like she knows what money, like she knows what money is, but she doesn't know not to, you know what I mean? Like this kid was old enough, I think, to know better. But it was such a wild, like, I was like, dude, that's such a savage dad move. Like, fucking, like, it was crazy. Like, kid is in his shin guards, in his cleats, just was running around chasing a soccer ball, comes to get water, and dad just hits him with, hey, I $100 bill was missing from the dresser. Do you know anything about that? Like, are you fucking kidding me? That was the craziest shit. I was like, man, that's a move that, like, the kid's in his shin guards. I couldn't. And then they resumed, like, the water break was quick, and like he was still over on the sideline, like, you know, and dad looked pissed. I'm like, dude, I missed the end of how it all ended, but just like, that was crazy. He was over there talking to him for a minute. I don't know if he ever went back. I'm pretty sure he went back in because the dad was still there at the end. But I was just like, damn, dude, that was fucking wild. Like, man, that was fucking funny. Oh, this poor kid, dude. I mean, not poor kid, you know what I mean? If he did take it, I don't know if the kid took it, you know, innocent until proven guilty. But I don't. If you know if your kid did some shit, you know what I mean? Like, as a parent, it's like your kid's like, oh, I didn't do it. It's like, dude, you fucking know, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if he got bad information or if the kid actually did it. But either way, just absolute masterclass in being a fucking savage dad. Dude, 25 minutes into the practice, and that's what he hits the kid with. I had $100 missing. Oh, shit, dude. Man, being a parent's tough, but dude, that dude just did not give a fuck. I was afraid of that guy, dude. Afterwards, like, I had to walk by him. I walked by him with my kid. My kid wanted to take a little walk, and I had to walk by that dude. I was like, dude, I don't have to walk by this guy. I don't want to make eye contact with him. He's going to think I stole some shit out of his pocket or something. Yeah. Fucking, man, what a fucking move. So, anyway, I think that's just about it. I think I did 25 minutes the other time, and then I think this will be just about an hour, more or less. So I got to wrap it up because my fucking wife is going to be coming in here any minute, and we've got the neighbors coming over to hang out. It's supposed to be like almost 80, so we're going to go get the kid out of school early and then come back and do the pool. So that should be interesting. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, hope everybody has a good weekend in reselling, you know. I don't know if I missed anything. Did I miss anything? I think I covered all my bases. Yeah, it definitely did. So I don't know. I want to try to bang out more. I do want to do. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting to do. I don't know if I've done one yet, but take a little bit of mushrooms and do an episode. I don't know if I'm gonna do it by myself or do that one with a guest. That might be like one that I have to invite a guest on for. Just because the conversations that you have when you're on mushrooms are like fucking very silly. Anyway, all right, that's the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, tell your friends. If you're still listening at this point, you're kind of obligated. It means you like it enough that you're still listening. So tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your ex-coworkers and ex-friends. Tell everybody, you know what I mean? Just be like, hey, there's a podcast that's not good. It's going to waste an hour of your time. But if you sell some shit online, very niche, if you're interested in selling stuff online and you want to not really learn anything, just hear some dude ramble about what he did this week in reselling, which is usually not much compared to other people, then yeah, this is the podcast for you. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon.